Hello, chemistry families. I'm so excited that your student is in my chemistry class this year. My name is Miss Drapkin. You can see my contact info is right here. My email is super important. Please email me anytime you have any questions at all. It could be you or your students, anything. Anything you have to say or comments or questions, please email me. I'm always available. You can also email me if you want to set up like a Zoom meeting, or if you would like me to give you a phone call, anything of that nature, put that up in there, please. Excuse me, I have allergies. The wind is going crazy here. For this class, I'm mostly going to be using Teams. So I'm trying to focus in on just one platform for the students to have to work with. So I post all the files and do most of the assignments and turning things in through Teams. Obviously, grading is still through Synergy. I also have a YouTube channel. It's Ms. Drapkin Science, so students are welcome to go, or you are welcome to go check that out anytime. It has all the videos that I make, as well as playlists of videos that I think would be very helpful, excuse me, for specific topics. So, just a little bit about me real quick. This is my second year of teaching at Sabino. I taught chemistry and AP chemistry last year, and this year I'm teaching AP chemistry and AP biology, as well as regular chemistry. Before that, I taught chemistry for 3 years at Amphi High School, and a whole bunch of other things. My degree was in biochemistry. It was super great. So I really enjoy teaching chemistry overall, and I think despite the challenges of this year, I think it's will be a good year. So let's move on forward and let's talk about grades, because I know that's very important. This is the breakdown of grades and where they come from. So it's tests, classwork, quizzes, and labs, and I can tell you all about all of those things. The first thing is tests. So tests are at the end of every unit. So far I'm assigning or doing tests via Teams as a quiz, like Microsoft Forms thing. It worked out pretty well last unit. In the future, tests might be a hybrid method between being handwritten and like taking pictures of that, and then Teams. Chemistry is essentially a math class in a lot of ways, very basic kind of math combined with science. So it's kind of a combination of the two. So there are times when I really do need to see work. So that's something that will maybe come up in the future. But for now, for the Unit 3 and Unit 2, I think that just doing the tests online will be pretty easy. A big thing to know about tests is that students can do corrections to fix mistakes that they made on the test to improve their grade. They can get up to half the points back. So if students are not thrilled with their test grade, there's always room for improvement. Excuse me. The next big thing is quizzes. Normally I do daily quizzes, but because of the online format, I'm doing quizzes on Fridays now. It's 5 questions. It's also done on Teams. And it makes sure that students know, it gives them an idea of what they are expected to know and make sure that they're keeping up and that they understand the content. It also lets me know if students are struggling with particular concepts. So those are super important to do on time as well. The next section I'll talk about is labs. Labs are a little tricky with this whole online situation. Excuse me. So far, we have done virtual labs because the units we're working on, honestly, there's not a lot of physical labs we could do anyway. As we continue on, I will see how things go. I'm trying to design some labs that can be done at home with common household equipment, things that will be safe, just with stuff you pull straight out of your kitchen or, bathroom sink, or under the bathroom sink or cabinets or whatnot. With any labs, if it involves physically doing something at home, if students don't have access to materials, there will be no punishment for that. I can always give students data, and then they can do the analysis part. In the future, I might end up making some videos. Depending on when we come back to class, we might just go backwards and do a whole bunch of labs that way. So I'm thinking of different options. For now, labs have been virtual, but we'll see how they proceed in the future. Labs are graded based on completion. Tests and quizzes are obviously based on understanding, so they're graded for correctness. The next really big section is classwork. So classwork mostly is in the form of unit packets. So for example, we are in unit 3 right now. We skipped unit 1. That's a whole thing. We're coming back to that later. There are 11 units total for this, this class. We're gonna cover units 2 through 6 this first semester, and then second semester we'll move forward. For all the students I created, actually, let me go grab one real quick. 1 second. I put together these classroom packets. It came in envelopes, and your students might have these. This is a printout of all of the materials that they will need for the entire first semester of this class. So it includes a very nice copy of the periodic table, and it includes copies of their notes, which is all these colored pieces of paper, like this blue one is unit 3, etc. It also includes their unit packets, which are worksheets essentially to help them practice. So that's most of the work for this class is in unit packets. I wanted to give printed out forms because I think it's really nice to not be on a computer all the time. And especially with chemistry, because it kind of is a lot of times like math type problems, it's nice to be able to physically write them out. So students can turn all this work in either by taking pictures, or they can just physically show me in Zoom meetings. I have lots of students turn in work that way. So yeah, so we are currently working on unit 3. So there's a unit 3 packet that they should be working on for that. Okay, so that's the biggest classwork. There are occasionally other classwork assignments, but the unit packet is the big one. So yeah, so that's pretty much it in terms of grades. I definitely understand and am trying to constantly adjust for the situation online. I am trying to balance between not overwhelming students, but also holding up a reasonable level of academic rigor. Being that we don't really know when we're coming back, my goal has been to push us forward with this more like essential level of content. So the whole first semester of chemistry is learning the basics. So learning like what atoms are and then compounds, so we can talk about reactions, and then we can kind of move past those more essential basic level skills into the more advanced and interesting things. Overall, there's a lot more labs in second semester anyways, compared to first. So part of the plan here is if we can get a little bit further ahead in content once we come back, possibly in January, who really knows, I don't know, we can get back to we can do some more of those labs. In the meantime, I am hoping maybe to do some home labs second quarter, not 100% sure what that'll look like, but I will keep you all up to date on that. In general, I am not marking off for late work. So I understand that there's a lot going on and that students are going to work at their kind of own pace with this situation. So I'll take pretty much any assignment at almost any time. I would recommend doing it within a week or two. Otherwise, you're kind of falling too far behind. If most of the way that I'm structuring this class is through video notes. So instead of doing notes in like a Zoom class, I record them just like this, and students can go through and take notes that way. Those are all posted in Teams. They're also posted on my YouTube channel. So you can go to Ms. Drapkin Science and you'll be able to find all those videos, in addition to extra videos that might be helpful or supplement that learning. I did not send your students home with a textbook because I just don't, it's not a very valuable resource, honestly. You're much better off just using videos or the notes that I provide. If there's ever an issue with your student, especially with like excessive amounts of work, please talk to me. Everyone who talks to me, I will accommodate them as best as I possibly can. Excuse me. Allergies, it's so windy out here, it's driving me crazy. Gotta get some nasal spray. Where was I? Oh yeah, accommodations for that. My general philosophy is that I want students to focus on the present and look forward to the future and not get stuck in the past. So if they have a whole bunch of missing assignments from the past, rather than doing all of it, I would rather prioritize the most important and crucial things from the past and focus on keeping up in the present. So I will often, if students come and talk to me, we can make deals where I will excuse past missing assignments as long as they're keeping up and doing the present work. So just kind of keep in contact with me about that, and I am happy to fix things as we go. I started off Unit 3 a little bit too fast with a little bit too much work, students told me, and I reduced it. So I'm always willing to do that, both for entire class, but also for individual students. There are a lot of ways that we can cut back the amount of work so that you can really focus in on what's most important, the most crucial parts, so that way, you know, everyone can be successful as much as possible. The other thing is I'm always available. So my classes run, like all the classes here, we have typically a work day on Wednesday. So that's kind of a day just to get some stuff done. I give assignments, usually through Teams, posts on Teams, but also by checking in. And my actual classes during the week don't ever go over half an hour. Sometimes they're a little bit less even. So during that time, there's always opportunities for more help. So if students are ever struggling, all they have to do is ask for help. They can stick around after a meeting or send me an email or get into contact with me somehow. I would be happy to work one-on-one or in small groups, whatever is most comfortable for students to help. Chemistry is one of these subjects where, excuse me, it is very cumulative. So if students are having an issue at one point and don't fix it, often it will just snowball and get worse, and it will just make everything harder. Chemistry is not, I don't think it's really difficult, but it is complicated and it is abstract, and it is very normal to struggle with chemistry and it might take some time to really understand what's happening. It's also very normal for it to come easily. So it just depends on the particular student. But I will say one thing is if you miss something important early on, it will make everything down the line much harder. If you get every single individual piece, it all clicks together really nicely. So let me just put my contact info back right up there. So yeah, if students need help with anything, general rule, just let me know. I'm delighted to help and go through things. If they're having troubles with the internet or how to turn things in or any sorts of problems, that's fine. Just let me know. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to this. I appreciate it. And again, let me know if you need anything at all. Thanks.